In a case that has shocked an entire community and drawn widespread media attention, a young man is accused of carrying out one of the most horrific acts imaginable, the killing and decapitation of his own father. According to court documents and statements made public by his mother, the accused allegedly referred to his father as the evilest person that ever lived before the gruesome act took place. The chilling nature of both the crime itself and the words surrounding it has left many people shaken, asking how something like this could happen inside what seemed like an ordinary household. The story began when authorities received a frantic call that led them to a family home where they made a discovery that investigators would later describe as one of the most disturbing scenes of their careers. Inside the home, they found the body of the father, and soon after, the evidence pointed directly to his own son as the prime suspect. Neighbors who had known the family for years expressed disbelief, saying they had never imagined something of this magnitude could erupt behind closed doors. Yet, as more details have slowly emerged, a more complex picture has begun to form about the fractured relationships within the household. The accused allegedly harbored deep resentment toward his father, which had been boiling beneath the surface for years. His mother's statement that her son called his father the evilest person that ever lived only added to the haunting weight of the story. For many observers, the words carry as much weight as the act itself. To call one's own parent such a name points to years of animosity, pain, or psychological turmoil. Was it anger rooted in abuse, neglect, or some other hidden family conflict? Was the accused struggling with untreated mental illness that magnified his rage and distorted his perception of reality? These questions remain central to both the investigation and the broader conversation sparked by the case. When someone refers to their own father in such extreme terms and follows it up with an act so violent, it becomes not just a crime story but also a deeper reflection on the hidden fractures within families that outsiders rarely see. Law enforcement officials have not yet released a complete timeline of the events leading up to the tragedy, but court records confirm that the son is facing charges of murder along with a gruesome allegation of decapitation. The severity of the crime has guaranteed that the trial, if it proceeds, will be closely followed by national and possibly international media outlets. Prosecutors are expected to seek the maximum penalty allowed under law, while defense attorneys will likely argue that mental health issues played a major role in the actions of their client. No matter how the legal process unfolds, the case already stands as one of the most shocking examples of domestic violence turned catastrophic. Neighbors and community members have struggled to process what happened. Some described the father as a quiet man who mostly kept to himself, while others admitted they had seen tension within the family before but never imagined it could escalate to murder. The son, according to a few acquaintances, was seen as troubled but not necessarily dangerous. Stories like this highlight how difficult it can be to predict extreme acts of violence. Often, people in the community only notice subtle signs of conflict, but they rarely see the full extent of the turmoil until after tragedy strikes. This disconnect leaves many asking what, if anything, could have been done to prevent such an outcome. At the heart of the case is the mother, who is now caught in an unimaginable position. She has lost her husband in a brutal way, and at the same time she faces the reality that her son could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted. Her statement about her son calling his father the evilest person that ever lived reveals both the depth of hostility within the family and the complicated emotions she must be experiencing. For her, the grief is doubled, mourning her husband while also grappling with the fact that her child is accused of being the one responsible. Her words carry a mixture of sorrow, horror, and a faint hint of explanation, as if she wants the world to know that there was history behind her son's actions, even if nothing could ever justify them. As with many shocking crimes, the public reaction has been intense. Social media platforms lit up with people debating the case, speculating about the family's history, and sharing their own stories of difficult family dynamics. Some expressed sympathy for the accused, suggesting that years of abuse or mistreatment could have driven him to a breaking point. Others condemned him without hesitation, arguing that no amount of anger or hardship could ever excuse such brutality. Still others focused on the broader issues of mental health, domestic strife, and the warning signs that too often go unnoticed until it is too late. In many ways, the story has become more than just a criminal case, it has become a mirror reflecting society's struggles with family conflict, violence, and mental well-being. Experts in psychology and criminology have weighed in, pointing out that cases where children commit violence against parents are rare but not unheard of. Known as parricide, such crimes often stem from a complex mixture of long-term resentment, perceived abuse, and psychological instability. While each case is unique, researchers note that parricide almost always involves years of tension building up until one explosive moment shatters everything. The gruesome detail of decapitation in this particular case adds another disturbing layer, suggesting extreme rage or mental disturbance beyond what is typically seen. For investigators and experts alike, understanding the mindset of the accused will be crucial in determining both the motive and the appropriate legal outcome. The case also serves as a grim reminder of how hidden turmoil within a family can reach catastrophic levels. From the outside, families may appear functional or even normal, while behind closed doors, bitterness, control, or fear may be festering. This particular story forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that even the most basic relationships between parent and child can sometimes become sites of unbearable conflict. It is a tragedy not only because of the violence itself but also because of what it reveals about the silent struggles many families endure without outside help or intervention. In that silence, problems grow larger, resentments deepen, and the potential for destructive outcomes increases. As the legal system moves forward with charges, the world will be watching closely. Prosecutors will aim to prove beyond doubt that the son acted with intent and malice, while defense lawyers will likely highlight mental instability and argue for treatment rather than lifelong punishment. The mother's testimony and statements could become key evidence in painting the emotional landscape of the family and revealing just how strained the relationships had become. The ultimate verdict will rest not only on the evidence of the act itself but also on the interpretation of why it happened. And in cases like this, that why is often as haunting as the crime itself. For now, the community continues to reel from the horror, and the family remains fractured beyond repair. The story will undoubtedly continue to evolve, and more details will emerge as the investigation and court process move forward. But even at this stage, it stands as one of the most shocking and unsettling cases of familial violence in recent memory. A son, a father, a mother's grief, and a community's disbelief, all wrapped up in one of the darkest headlines imaginable. If you've made it this far into the video, we want to thank you for taking the time to watch and reflect with us on this heartbreaking case. Stories like this remind us of the importance of addressing mental health struggles, family conflicts, and the warning signs of escalating violence before it's too late. If you found this coverage important, informative, or thought-provoking, please take a moment to support our channel. Hit the like button, share this video with others who might be interested, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of true crime stories, breaking news updates, and deep dives into the issues that matter. Your support helps us continue bringing you content that sheds light on the hidden and often difficult realities of the world we live in. Make sure to click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We appreciate your time, your thoughts, and your engagement with this difficult but important story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.